Okay, so like everyone listening, I'm super interested in actually USing my crypto.
Yeah.
Not just holding, but actually spending it.
Mm-hmm.
You sent over some articles about crypto debit cards.
Right.
So let's deep dive into that a little bit.
I think that's a great idea. I mean, what I find really interesting about crypto debit cards is they're not just for crypto enthusiasts anymore.
Right.
We're seeing a lot more kind of mainstream adoption, even from folks who maybe don't completely understand the technology.
Right. It's kind of like the gateway drug to the broader crypto world.
Exactly.
But before we get too far ahead of ourselves, let's back up.
Okay.
What exactly is a crypto debit card? Just in the simplest terms.
It's like a bridge between your crypto wallet and the real world.
Okay.
It looks and acts just like a normal debit card.
Uh-huh.
But instead of drawing from your bank account, it's pulling from your crypto holdings.
So I could like buy a latte with Bitcoin.
Yes.
Just like that.
That's where the partnership comes in between crypto platforms and payment networks.
Right. Visa, MasterCard.
Okay.
They've built the infrastructure for real-time conversion at the point of sale. So you're not having to go and like manually exchange your crypto beforehand.
That's crazy.
Or worry about the rates fluctuating.
So it just does it automatically?
Yep.
That's amazing. I read in one of the articles that even baby boomers are getting on board with these things.
I know, it's super interesting.
What do you think that says about this whole thing?
I think it just speaks to the desire to have a more integrated financial experience.
Okay.
People want to be able to use their assets,
Yeah.
whether they're digital or traditional,
Yeah.
in whatever way they want to,
Okay.
in a way that fits their lifestyle.
So let's walk through what actually happens step by step when I make a purchase.
Okay.
Let's say I go for a massage after this deep dive and use my crypto debit card.
Okay, so you're checking out.
Okay.
You hand over your crypto debit card.
Mm-hmm.
The card reader sends a request to the payment network,
Okay.
Visa, MasterCard.
Right. And then that network communicates with your crypto platform and says, hey, we need to pay for this massage.
And is that when the conversion happens?
Right. Then your platform calculates how much crypto needs to be converted based on the current market rate to cover the cost of your massage.
Okay.
And then they exchange that amount from your chosen cryptocurrency,
Okay.
Bitcoin, Ethereum, or a stable coin, into the local currency,
Gotcha.
which in this case is probably US dollars.
So the spa gets their money,
Right.
and I just paid with crypto and didn't even have to think about it.
Yep.
That's pretty cool. Now, I know there are different types of crypto cards. Debit, credit.
Yeah.
What's the difference?
So a crypto debit card works just like a prepaid card.
Okay.
You load it with your chosen cryptocurrency, and you're spending what you have available.
Just like my bank debit card.
Exactly.
Spend what you have.
Yep.
Now, what about these crypto credit cards?
So crypto credit cards function more like traditional credit cards. You're borrowing against a predetermined credit limit
Right.
and paying it back later, often with interest.
Oh, okay.
But here's where it gets interesting, at least for crypto fans.
Okay.
Some offer rewards in the form of cryptocurrency.
So it's like cash back.
Yeah.
But instead of boring old dollars, I'm getting Bitcoin or Ethereum or something.
Exactly.
I like the sound of that. What's the catch?
Well, always got to read the fine print.
Right.
Crypto credit cards are still credit cards.
Yeah.
You need to make sure you understand the terms, the interest rates,
Right.
how it might impact your credit score.
So before anybody runs out and gets one of these, we should probably go through the pros and cons.
Yeah, definitely. We should also think about those things for the debit cards, too.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
When you're choosing which one's right for you.
Right.
Because there's a lot of variety out there.
So many choices. It's like picking a new phone.
Yeah.
Where do you even start?
I'd say, first off, think about the fees.
Oh, yeah.
Some cards have low transaction fees, but then they get you with ATM withdrawals or monthly charges.
Right.
Some might have a cap on how much you can spend or withdraw each day.
Oh.
So you got to really look into it, make sure it fits your spending habits.
So if I travel a lot and use ATMs, I'd pick a different card than someone who just shops online a lot.
Yeah, exactly.
That's cool.
And then there's the question of supported cryptocurrencies.
Oh, well, right.
Some cards only support Bitcoin, while others support Ethereum, stablecoins, or even a wider variety of altcoins.
I like to dabble, so having that flexibility would be nice.
Yeah, you don't want to be limited to one or two.
Right.
Especially if you want to diversify.
Now, what about the global acceptance thing we were talking about?
Yeah.
How do I know it will work wherever I go?
You want to look for cards that are partnered with Visa or MasterCard.
Okay.
Those usually have the widest acceptance
Yep.
for both online and in person.
It's like the universal key that unlocks spending. Oh, man. I'm picturing myself in Rome, sipping a cappuccino, paying with crypto.
It's nice.
It all sounds pretty amazing.
Yeah.
But there's got to be some downsides, right? Nothing's perfect.
Of course. There are some potential pitfalls highlighted in the material we were looking at.
Okay, well, lay them on me. I want to hear them.
One is security.
Oh, right.
Anything digital is potentially vulnerable to hacking.
Yeah.
Crypto debit cards are no different.
Okay.
So you want to make sure you pick a provider with strong security measures.
So it's like any other online account. Pick good passwords, two-factor authentication.
Yeah.
Keep everything safe.
Then there's regulations.
Oh, right.
Those are still evolving.
Yeah, they're still trying to catch up, I think.
Yeah, so there's some uncertainty there for users.
Okay.
What's legal and accepted in one country might be completely different in another.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Another challenge is acceptance limitations.
Yeah.
While crypto debit cards are gaining traction, there are still merchants and businesses that don't accept them.
Okay, so got to have a backup just in case.
Yeah, wouldn't want to be stuck at the counter with a card that doesn't work.
Yeah, that would be embarrassing.
And finally, fees.
Oof. Yeah, those are always a bummer.
Some cards have surprisingly high transaction fees.
Oh, wow.
Withdrawal limits, even annual or monthly charges.
Really?
Just eating into your crypto holdings.
Yikes. It's like death by 1,000 cuts.
Basically.
So the takeaway here is do your research right.
Yes, very important.
Compare. Read that fine print before you commit to anything.
Speaking of fine print, we got to talk taxes.
Ugh, everyone's least favorite topic.
I know, but it's important.
Yeah, you're right.
It's important to understand those implications.
Okay.
In most places, when you make a purchase, you're essentially selling your crypto to convert it.
So even buying a cup of coffee or an Uber could trigger something.
Pretty much.
Oh, man.
Whether you have a gain or loss depends on the value at the time of the transaction.
Right.
Compared to when you originally acquired it.
Okay. Keeping track of all that for taxes sounds like a nightmare.
It's definitely a good idea to keep detailed records of your crypto transactions, just like you would with any investment.
Okay.
But there is good news. There's software to help with crypto tax reporting these days.
Oh, okay.
And of course, you can consult with a tax professional specializing in cryptocurrency.
Good advice.
Yeah.
So we've covered how these cards work, the types, the benefits, the drawbacks, even the tax stuff.
Yeah, pretty much.
But what about the big picture? Where do you see these cards going? Like in the future of finance?
That's where it gets really interesting.
Okay, I'm all ears.
I think we're just scratching the surface.
Wow.
As crypto continues to grow, we can expect these cards to become even more prevalent.
Okay.
And sophisticated.
So like paying with crypto will be as normal as using a credit card?
I think so.
That's kind of wild.
Yeah. One big trend is acceptance.
Uh-huh.
More and more merchants are realizing the value of taking crypto. So that limitation we talked about might not even be a thing in the future.
That's awesome. That would be a game changer.
Yeah, for sure.
What else?
We're also seeing more integration with other parts of the decentralized finance ecosystem,
Okay.
like staking, yield farming, even accessing other DeFi services through your card.
Oh, wow.
So it's not just about spending,
Yeah.
it's about actively managing and growing your holdings.
That's amazing.
Right from your debit card.
I like that.
And we're seeing crazy advancements in security, too.
Oh, yeah.
Biometric authentication, AI-powered fraud prevention.
So they could be even more secure than traditional payment methods.
Yeah, potentially.
That's a game changer.
And as regulations get more clear and standardized, we're going to see more confidence from users.
Right.
I think we're right on the edge of a big shift.
Wow.
Where these cards become just a normal part of our financial lives.
That's a pretty big deal.
It is.
Okay, so wider acceptance, DeFi integration, better security. There's one more word I keep seeing. Interoperability.
Yeah, that's key to unlocking the true potential of these cards.
Okay, break that down for me.
Imagine using your card across different wallets and blockchains with no limitations.
So I'm not tied to a certain platform or anything?
Yeah, think about that. It'd be super interconnected and user-friendly.
Okay.
You could use the full power of the decentralized financial system.
Wow. Okay, that's a lot to think about.
Yeah.
So let's say someone's listening and they're like, okay, I get it. Crypto debit cards are cool. But it all sounds a little intimidating.
Yeah.
What advice do you have for them?
Don't be afraid to jump in.
Okay.
Crypto debit cards are getting easier and easier to use. They're a great way to experience the practical benefits of crypto.
So you don't have to be a tech expert to use them?
No, not at all.
Okay, cool.
They're a bridge between traditional finance and the world of crypto.
So you can participate without needing to understand all the super complex technical stuff. It's like a gateway to a whole new financial world.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
Okay, cool. So we've gone deep on the how, the why, the what ifs. But what does this all really mean for the listener?
Yeah.
What's the big takeaway for someone listening who is maybe considering taking the plunge?
I think it comes down to this. Crypto debit cards give you a chance to really bring your digital assets into your everyday life.
Okay.
They're not just for, the tech-savvy folks anymore.
Right.
It's becoming a really practical and accessible way for anyone to kind of be a part of this evolving world of finance.
So it's not about being like a crypto hipster or whatever.
Right.
It's about having more control over my own money.
Exactly. Think about it. You're not limited to using traditional banks' payment methods anymore. You have the power to choose how you want to spend your money, whether it's Bitcoin, Ethereum, whatever.
It's like taking control of my financial freedom.
Yeah.
But we did talk about some challenges too, like security and the fact that regulations are still being figured out.
Yeah, for sure. You always want to be cautious, just like with any financial product.
Right.
Do your research, choose a good provider, and protect your info.
And probably don't go putting all your eggs in one basket, especially if you're new to crypto.
Yeah, good point. Take it slow, learn as you go, and don't be afraid to ask questions.
Right. Okay, so maybe in a few years, using a crypto debit card will be as normal as using a credit card or Apple Pay or something.
Yeah, I could see that happening.
It feels like we're at the beginning of something big.
I think so, yeah. Crypto debit cards are just one piece of the puzzle, but they're a big step toward this idea of a more decentralized and inclusive financial system.
Wow, okay. So as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave our listeners with a question. Now that you've learned about crypto debit cards and what they can do, how do you think they'll change the way we use and think about money in the future?
That's a great question.
Will they become the standard? Will they change banking as we know it?
I don't think anyone has all the answers yet.
Yeah.
But that's what makes this so exciting, right?
Yeah.
It's always evolving, and we all get to be a part of figuring out what it becomes.
So to everyone listening, keep learning, stay curious, and maybe even try out a crypto debit card if it seems right for you. You might be surprised at how cool it is to be part of this financial revolution.
And who knows, maybe in a couple of years we'll be back here doing another deep dive and be amazed at how far it's all come.
I would love that. Until then, happy diving.